Listen to the verse of Allah that says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يعلم خائنة الأعين وما تخفي الصدور. He knows the wink of the eye, the betrayal of the eye, and He knows what is hidden inside the chests of human beings. An example of His knowledge is that every human being is born with a nose and a mouth. However, in the womb of our mothers, no one uses them. We get our food and our oxygen from the blood of our mothers. But Allah knows that when we come out of the wombs of our mothers, we definitely need our noses and our mouth in order to breathe and in order to eat. Because of absolute knowledge, because of His absolute knowledge, Allah created us with all the organs that we need in our life. Compare human beings with fish, for example. Fish don't have noses because they cannot use them in water. Instead, they have gills. They can function well in water. So Allah created fish with gills, but He created human beings with nose. Another unique quality of Almighty Allah is that He is the most merciful. His mercy can be seen and observed everywhere. Take the example of the sun. Allah knows that life on earth requires warmth and light. Therefore, He created the sun for this life to continue. He also put the sun in a specific place in the universe and at an accurately measured distance from the earth. Had the sun moved from its track a little bit up or a little bit down, the whole life on earth would be destroyed either by excessive heat or by excessive cold. This is a very simple example that shows the mercy of Almighty Allah. Another example is that Allah created fresh water for people and all living creatures to drink from, for life to continue. And He created oxygen for them to breathe. And without it, life would cease, as we see on the other planets where there is no oxygen or no water. Isn't this an adequate proof that Almighty Allah is merciful? Absolutely. This is an adequate proof of His quality of being merciful to all His creatures. Finally, I would like to stress a very important meaning, that there is nothing like Allah. There is no one or nothing more powerful, more knowledgeable, more omnipotent, more merciful than God the Creator. He is the all-hearing and the all-seeing. In fact, there is a very short verse in the Holy Quran that describes Almighty Allah. And it is the verse number 110. Listen to the words of Allah talking about Himself. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Meaning, say, He is God, one God, the everlasting and the self-sufficient, who has not begotten and has not been begotten, and there is nothing that's equal to Him. This is briefly the answer of the few questions that I raised in the beginning of this talk about the existence of God. I hope your look towards life and towards God has already changed. Finally, I ask Almighty Allah to guide us all to the truth and to firm our hearts on this truth until we see Him in the day of judgment. Ameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Mamdouh Mohamed-Existence from the American Open University in Washington.